Welcome back, welcome back. Got the E38 in the garage. I gotta start showing this car some project love because yeah, it needs some work. I don't remember the last time you seen it on the channel because I've been gone for a while. But yeah, she needs some paint job. There's some rust on the hood. There's areas, that I gotta fix up. I gotta deal with this gasket seal that goes on the top of the windshield. Mine was deteriorated. It had some duct tape on there. It literally turned to dust. Literally, look. Peel off like it doesn't even, it's disintegrated. So I gotta seal that with that because there was water leaking inside of here. It used to get in through here and go into the glove box. I was wondering why there was water in the glove box at points, and I determined that was the reason why. I also have to deal with the windshield wipers aren't working on this. Look at that, 2018. That's the last time that shit was inspected. I got this car. I didn't really do anything with it. It's just been sitting there, this poor thing. I'm gonna seriously get to work on it now though. These windshield wipers don't work. There's some known issues that I've looked up about why inside of here. It's a little relay box. I'll show you that. I already got into there. I disassembled that. I was in there last night looking around. So I'll show you that pretty much. That's one of the main things that I'm gonna tackle first. So the plan here is to get this car into daily driver status. So I gotta sort out a couple of things like that so I could make sure I don't have no issues with leaks. The windshield wipers gotta get fixed because it does rain a lot where I'm at. Those rear windows, for whatever reason, they don't roll up and down. I don't think it's the regulators. I think it's some electrical shit. So I'm gonna go sort that out, find out why they're not working, fix those. So I could go ahead and tint these windows. You know how I do. I just get busy when I get to my projects. This car is gonna look legit. Trust me, it's just a matter of time. I gotta get into this project. I haven't really started at all. All right, this is the fuse box area. Well, when it's exposed, I took everything apart. I took out the computers that were in there. They're just held in by these little clips, like these clips here. These hold in the computer. This is a relay board that was down there, right here. These are where the relays are. And you see this little tab right there? That was actually screwed onto there. One, and then there's another one that's under here, right there. So that's where they were screwed into. I unscrewed them, and that gave me access to the relays. Underside of the relays, I did notice that some of them were fairly, just a little bit of oxidation on them, I would say, not much. I don't know if I can get in there and see. It's a bad angle, can't really see. But I got another video with a better angle of it. So what I'm going to do now is go in there and clean it with some electrical cleaner. I disconnected the battery for this, so I don't want to pop any fuses. Yesterday I made a mistake and I did pop a fuse right here. This one. It's a 30 amp fuse and it popped. So I know that I'm disconnect the battery now. Make sure I don't have any mistakes like that again. I got to be careful when you're working on these cars. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna clean inside there, clean everything out, try to fix any connections or anything that I can see. I'm gonna do a good visual inspection just so you know what I'm doing off camera, and get everything, make sure there's no wires that are coming loose, make sure that nothing is broken in here, and just tighten everything up. And then I'm gonna check to see if everything works after I replace that fuse right there. So once I do all that, I'll see if the wipers are working and go forward with the troubleshooting if not. Alright, so I did some cleaning in there. I'm going to try to see if I could turn this upside down a bit Yeah, it's a way better angle. All right, get my hand out the freaking way. But you can see inside the terminals, there's really no more oxidation in there, no more rust. I cleaned it out really good. And for the most part, it doesn't look like any of the wires are broken. It doesn't look like anything is coming out, like any of the terminals. Everything looks pretty solid. I'm going to double and triple check just to be sure. And I'm going to check continuity with my multimeter just to be 100% sure. All right, for my troubleshooting technique with the continuity, what I used first of all was the fuse box. So here's the map for the fuse box. If I'm going down looking for the windshield wipers, they got windscreen wipers right here. And there's a fuse number 3, 28, and 55, okay? So here's the map on how to read the fuses, 1, 2, 3. And if you look at the box, 1 doesn't have anything in it, 2 doesn't have anything in it, so number 3 would be a 30 amp fuse. So number 3 would be a 30 amp fuse, and number 3 again would be the windshield wiper. Okay, so the relays down there, I looked at the relay wiring diagram. I'll show that in another video, how to read wiring diagram for this same exact troubleshooting. I'll use this as an example. But this relay right here and this one are the two that control the windshield wipers. This wire right here should have continuity, that red and white wire, with that 30 amp fuse according to the wiring diagram. So if everything checks out and these work and that is the proper relay and the wiring is correct, the fuse is correct, it should test out proper for continuity. So for continuity, I use my my multimeter. If you don't know too much about this, I'll do another video explaining. This isn't a video for that, but this is a device that can help me with my troubleshooting. This setting right here is continuity. Well, right now is a diode tester, so I would press the select button so I can see that symbol, which matches with that one. Looks like the Wi-Fi symbol, and that would allow me to see if there's contact between 2 points. So for instance, if I take the red and black lead of my meter and I touch them together, it should beep. Right, see? If I touch them together, it should beep. Same thing as if I touch that fuse right there, the 30 amp fuse, and that wire, it should beep as well if they're making continuity. So let me set myself up. I'm gonna put this lead right in that there, and then I'm gonna touch the 30 amp fuse with the other one, and you see how it beeps? So that means that I have continuity between that fuse and that wire. Okay, another connection that should be made is the relays receive their positive on the trigger. So a trigger for a relay is supposed to have a positive and a negative on the coil, and that would turn on the relay. So these relays are receiving their positive signal from the fuse, that number 5 fuse. So that would be this fuse right here. So this fuse should be beeping when I touch the contact for the relay, which is here. So let me touch there, set myself up, and then let me see if I get continuity with the wire. Make sure I'm in there proper. There it goes. So I do get a beep. So that means that I do have continuity there as well. So I can continue checking my wiring diagram for the other wires that are supposed to be connected. Some of them are supposed to be connected inside the car. So troubleshooting would mean I would have to go all over those places with my wiring diagram, see if the connections are there. If the 2 wires that I suspect to be connected do not beep when I'm doing a continuity test, that means that there's a break somewhere along the wire. Now, break can be the wire is broken, or the wire has a short, or something is not connected, or the fuse is blown or something, and that would help me to determine where the problem is. So that's a troubleshooting technique that I use, checking for continuity. I also check for voltage. I check for bad grounds, different things. So I will do a troubleshooting segment on the channel so that you guys can learn how to get your skills up and save hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars working on your car, or rebuilding your car, or restoring your car. But they look fine, so nothing looks broke. This is what I use to clean it off, some electric parts cleaner. And yeah, I'm gonna just clean everything in here out. This is a car that's over 20 years old, and all of this in here is all filthy, got leaves. One thing I can say for sure is I don't see any water down there. Like a lot of people have issues with water in that area. I don't see any of that, so I don't think this car had that issue, knock on wood. That little liquid that you see, like the moisture, that's just from the parts cleaner that I put on there, the electrical parts cleaner. I'm gonna wipe it all down. It's gonna help clean the wires. I'm gonna see if I can get some of those parts out of there so I could get a good cleaning. This is just me trying to sort out the windshield wiper issue. If this works out, then that sorted that out. I'll post up some pictures. Then I'm gonna move on back to the rear windows. Once I fix those, then I could tint the windows. Once I get these windows tinted and the wipers working, I could just move this project full speed ahead. Got a lot of plans for this car. Pretty much stock. Nothing really changed on here. I'm gonna leave it mostly stock. I want the stock look on this. I just want it to look really aggressive and mean. I'm gonna do some motor work in here just to touch up. But yeah, stay tuned for future episodes of this E38 project, because I'm back working on this again. Yes. All right, so my troubleshooting has caused determination for me to think that the switch is bad. This switch that's here, the steering wheel switch, because I could get the windshield wipers to work when I manipulate the relay, and send the ground to it, so it works. So that means that it's not getting its own ground. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna remove this and check out the switch. That's the next step here. So what we're doing here is we're separating this. There's a little screw on the bottom and on the top of this module. Take this off. I already took it off. So the bottom one comes out. The screw would have went in that little hole right there. And then the top one comes off, and then the screw goes in that hole. All right, so now with that, hold tight, let me grab something. All right, with that exposed, you have access to this. And this was plugged in. I unplugged it, and then the switch has a clip there. Hold tight. See that little clip there? Push that down. There's one on the bottom of it, and then when you push them both together, you could slide this thing out. All right, so I'm gonna slide that out of the position real quick, and then I'll do some more troubleshooting in there. It might turn out that I just need a new switch, and that's it. So that's troubleshooting 101 on Project Beamers. This is what we do. A mechanic would have charged for this type of troubleshooting maybe $70 an hour, 3 hours worth of work, and still come up with nothing. Charge about 200 bucks just to tell you you need a new motor, or you need a new relay, or you need a new this or that, or whatever the fuck. But if you're seriously troubleshooting and getting down to the issue, and just a little bit of sense in what you're doing, you'll get to the problem. So I'll let you know if it really is the switch, or if worse comes to worse, it's the module that the switch sends signal to, in order for the wipers to work. But I'll figure all that out, and then I'll get right back to you. Alright, so I was looking at the wiring diagram, and there's some wires that's supposed to be sent from the switch. Looked like the switch was sending the wires, so I went to look under where the general module was. It's under the glove box under here, and there was a module that was right here that I unplugged the harnesses that were in there. Okay, and then this one harness, I noticed this. What the hell is this? This is burned so bad that the pin can't even fit in there anymore. Okay, so that's burnt completely. And then I managed to get the module out. Right here. And this is, I don't know if this is the general module, but it says GM, so it might be general module. It says BMW. There's a part number on it. And then where the damage was is right there. So obviously that, there was 2 pins there. Now there's only 1. So 1 pin was completely burned off, whatever that was. I'm not going to say 100% that that's the reason why the windshield wipers are not working. I don't want to celebrate yet that I found the issue, but I did find this issue. It is at the general module. There are wires that go from the general module into this equation. So I'm going to see what colors are the ones that are burned, and see if they were the ones that were supposed to be receiving signals from the switch. And if they are, then I'll celebrate. All right, but for right now, there's more work to be done. I'll see you soon. All right, here's a quick recap of this situation. I already figured out what the problem was. Okay, so inside all of this nonsense, you have your computers, right? This is one, and then there's another one around here somewhere. So your computers are going to be taken out of these areas. You unplug everything, and then they slide out of these clips. It holds them. Then if you come down here, you're gonna have a relay box, right? Now these relays are connected to the switch. These are for the window wipers and some other things, but they're connected to the windshield wiper switch that's inside of the car. So if you check everything in here, now I was able to determine which wires are the coil on these relays. I'm going to make a video about relays so you understand what I'm talking about, but I determined which wires were the coil on these relays here. These two relays here are for the window wipers, and they're the 2 little whatever orangey color that is, peach color. The wires that you're looking for are these ones on the corners, the little skinny ones over here. These are the switch wires. The ones over here, the skinny ones on the top here, those are wired into the fuse boxes. So you should have 12 volts on these if you want to test. These you should get ground. You shouldn't have it yet, but you should get it when you turn on your switch from the windshield wipers inside the car. So if I put a ground on this wire or on that wire, it made the windshield wipers work. So I know that the relays work. I know that the wiring is okay up to the switch from this point. So now you got to work your way backwards. The next thing that would be connected that you can check easily would be the switch from inside the car. Next thing, so the switch inside the car, I was able to take out the wiring harness that was behind it, test the wires there. I determined that the switch was actually sending the signals that it's supposed to be sending. So it's not like the switch was the problem, because my multimeter said that when I send the signal for the switch to go up and down, the voltage was present.
So the switch is supposed to send voltage to the general control module. Now my general control module is under my glove box. It's this. Now remember I told you this car was the one that had water damage. That water was leaking into here. So it's funny how some people have the issue where water fucks up their windshield wipers, but it's on the inside. Mine was the reverse. Water ended up fucking up mine, but it was on the underside of the glove box. So if you can imagine the glove box sitting in this area right here, this module is plugged into here. This is where it sits into, right in there, right? Slides in there. It locks in there, and then this harness right here is right in the level where the water would have, if water was just pooled right here. So this burned out that, which is connected to this harness, and you never fucking guess what these two wires are connected to. Yeah, the relays that are up in the front. So the relays that are up in the front cannot get signal because of this. This is the problem, okay? So nothing you would have did with cleaning the relays or doing this extra shit that these people on the internet talking about was going to fix this particular issue. The only thing that's fixing this issue here is serious advanced troubleshooting, tracking down the problem, not giving up, not crying, fucking complaining that you can't do it, taking it to a mechanic to fuck up your car some more, just getting it done. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to replace this plug. I'm going to have to get a pigtail, which is going to come with the ends of these wires. And then I'm going to have to cut this shit off and then splice all these wires back in there. It's not going to be the easiest job in the world, but it's something I can definitely do. I'll make it look nice and clean, just like the factory did it. And then I'll have my windshield wipers back, okay? I'm also going to have to get another one of these modules because the pin is burnt off completely. So I'm going to have to get a pigtail of this and this module. I don't have that today. I'm not going to buy that shit off the internet. I'm going to go to a junkyard. I'm going to find a 740 and I'm going to take that shit out of there. It should work fine. Mine was working for 20 fucking years until that happened. So I'll find one that has a good module, general control module or general module, and then I could fix this problem. But car does not defeat man today, right? So you just keep at it until you figure out what the problem is. Don't give up.